This should be a little bit of a change of pace because I want to talk about a serious subject. It was actually prompted by someone who's claimed they wanted to get to know me and would be here in a few minutes, whatever. Thought uh, didn't come. That made me think about honor and morality and stuff like that, which has been on my mind a lot lately since we've had a bunch of tweakers being transported up here from Austin by sex workers and dumped at the places that are open around here 24/7. So I've had to be keeping an eye out about thieves. And what's prompting this exact video was I found a movie. I thought it's John Grisham's The Rainmaker movie about unscrupulous attorneys. And I thought how funny it is. I'm not going to name any names here, really, that the most honorable, honest, never broke a. That's why we're best friends. Is he knows that I know to not get in his car with any like illegal drugs or anything illegal and put him in what is called constructive possession of an illegal or prohibited substance or item. Absolutely not. He knows I'm intelligent. That his wife is a doctor of biochemistry. That's why we get along. Is I'm really think and communicate best with people who are at the doctoral or postdoctoral level. The point I wanted to make is that this guy has been a criminal defender for, he's been a trial attorney now for I think 36, 38 years, something like that. And he strictly follows the ethics. Like, if you confess to him that you committed the crime, he must recuse himself according to the ethics of a legitimate attorney. You know, if you confess that you committed murder to him and stuff, that's directly to him. He must recuse, and he does. But he has people. He had one guy, he suppressed 6 or 7 jailhouse confessions to murder. No, actually 6. And when it came to the 7th one, he just went like, whatever, he's not going to stop. He suppressed 6 jailhouse confessions. And on the 7th, he just said, well, let's go to trial. Because he did it again. You know, the guy was clearly not going to stop talking about, that's what, if you've never read Crime and Punishment, that's one of the major themes in there is how murderers always dying to either to talk about, brag, or confess. That's why the cops withhold information in high profile cases and shit like that, so that they can weed out the true confession from the fake ones. Please, I was telling this to a high-ranking cop when I first came to Pflugerville, and I was amazed that he's in law enforcement. That he had never been in his syllabus, and anybody is to read Crime and Punishment. But that's one person, and he's also devoutly Roman Catholic. And I just love the guy. He's so straight, so square, and so predictable. That's what I love about him. And so honest, and so generous, and such a loving person. I mean, really. And yet, those are the guys, the criminal defenders are usually portrayed in the most horrific fashion by Hollywood. And yet, my best friend is a complete, exception to the Dick DeGuerin rule, the Racehorse Haynes rule, and stuff. And then I have my nephews who are the defenders of. One of my nephews actually came to me one day after he had to bargain over. This was after tort reform. I'm going to try to keep this short. They had lowered it to, if in any one incident, it's $250,000 for the first head, $500,000 tort cap for the entire family. Like, say, if a municipal vehicle veers off the highway and runs through your front yard barbecue on Juneteenth, kills 20 people, you can only get $500,000. And he had been arguing over a local drowning on behalf of a local government in my home area, or what was an area that I'm giving up because of the corruption. And he came to me, and I could tell and he said he was so envious of me and his brother, who became an engineer, works for General Electric, been working for General Electric forever, for a long time. And I could tell, and eventually, from all the cocktail parties and the climbing up and buying into a big law partnership and stuff, becoming a named partner, he achieved all that. And he, lied and did, all the, well, they still don't really consider it lying. They're just repeating but he knows that his client's lying, and he isn't. But that's his job. He's getting paid cash up front. He asked me how to get rich, and I told him how to do it, which is I told him become a civil defender. And you get paid up front. Expenses, win or lose, you get paid up front. And you know what? The last I know, he went nuts from it. It's because he was actually raised Catholic, went to a Catholic school. I think there's a bit of a soul left in him. He's not. But my other nephew, that's an attorney. His father's demon possessed, actually. I don't really care what you think about what I've seen, and I've never seen anything like that in my life. And he's been doing eminent domain, which means you can't find him. He doesn't, you can't really, because when you do eminent domain for the largest city in Texas, you're going to have thousands of people who want to see you dead. And he's able to somehow live with that. Yeah, he just sees it as a job that he's doing for a godless government. That's what my nephew said to me that day, was that he was, tired of, it was hurting his soul to work for godless governments and soulless corporations. So, while there are rules in general, I'm making this to let you know that not all attorneys are the same. Not all cops are the same. I think most of the doctors I've encountered in life are 30 years behind the time in science and not really competent to do the job according to the latest research and knowledge. But there's still good ones there. I've kept one for 20 years before he finally pissed me off. That was because he wanted to hide a failure they had in it. That was just one of many that I caught. But, it's, I was once an atheist. I'm not anymore. God gave me a miracle. And I'm proud to say that one of the most honorable people I've ever met defends people like me. I've been framed 4 times. You can look up my criminal record. Been framed 4 times. The only convictions I have are for medical marijuana. I never served a day passed post-conviction, never paid any fines, and I'm going to finish with this. In both occasions, was given a complete and total waiver of probation without even asking for it. I have the respect of the judges in my area and of the educated people in my area. Dumbasses always hate people like me because they're dumbasses. You got it?